Welcome back to the latest edition of McKinney Minute. I'm here with our favorite reporter in McKinney, Shelby Hamilton. She's going to inform us about some of the latest headlines of things happening in McKinney. So let's dive right in. First, let's talk about McKinney seeking federal funding for commercial air service incentives.
So this
That
is
sounds. So what is that? Tell us more about that.
So this is our next update in the progress of the commercial terminal at TKI.
Yeah.
So the city council approved city officials going to apply for this grant program. It's a program through the U.S. Department of Transportation, and it is a incentive program that's going to potentially offer them some money to do some targeted marketing related to commercial service. Airport Director Ken Carley says this type of incentive program is widely used across the country. It's rather common, especially around small airports looking to add some routes. So they're seeking $1.6 million, and that would be matched with some local dollars from the TERS 2 board, the Tax Increment Reinvestment Board, around the airport, the zone there. So those dollars would be used to market either the airport or specific routes being added at the airport. And that the goal of that is to kind of take away some of the risk associated with launching a new commercial service route, especially at a small airport. So this was our newest update that was approved in April, and we are still waiting to hear about some route announcements, any additional airline announcements, destinations, all of those things. But based on that presentation, they are still slated for a November opening.
Awesome. Yeah. I was hoping you'd come with some route announcements.
Soon,
Maybe next
hopefully,
month.
yes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Speaking of funding, one of the latest headlines you have is updated budget projections show McKinney ISD anticipates nearly a $4 million budget shortfall. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we talked last month about where they were on the budget. So here's an update. When we last spoke, that budget shortfall was sitting projected at about $7.5 million. Obviously, during this multi-month budgeting process, they're looking to close that gap. So right now, they're looking at about a $4 million shortfall. And they're pointing to, district officials are pointing to slowing property value growth as the primary cause for that. So when the district CFO, Marlene Harbison, is putting together these projections for their revenues, they're using some estimates for property value growth at about 4%. The actual property value growth when they got those certified values back from the appraisal district is sitting at about 2.75%, which is the lowest that they've seen in the last decade.
Oh, interesting.
So that slowing property value growth is obviously slowing the amount of money, lessening the amount of money that they're getting from those tax revenues. What that means for a homeowner is that the average single-family home within McKinney ISD has decreased in value by about $8,000.
Interesting.
So they may be, some homeowners may be seeing a lower tax bill, but that correlates to the amount of money the district gets for their costs. So that budget process is ongoing. We're expecting the next update in late June.
Okay. I know you'll come back and share more with us then. All right. McKinney seeks a developer for the Community Land Trust Townhome. So this is kind of near and dear to our hearts at the McKinney Chamber because affordable housing has been an initiative that we've been partnering with other entities and trying to kind of get ahead of the game on that here in McKinney. So tell us about that. The Community Land Trust is a tool in the toolbox to help us with
absolutely.
affordable housing.
And coming right off the heels of the first Affordable Housing Summit, the city is looking for a developer partner. So this Community Land Trust model, the city has a 3.5 acre piece of land. It's up off of Lake Forest, just north of 380, kind of by the hospital. And they are looking to put 20 townhomes, affordable price townhomes on that property. And they're looking for a developer partner that has familiarity with the Community Land Trust model to help put those in. And what that's going to do, and the way this model works, obviously, is by keeping those houses affordable by the land costs staying within the trust. So those homes can be bought and sold without the cost of the land in them, and then keeping that affordable, taking those land lease dollars that the city is keeping and putting that back into affordable housing. So they're looking to start this first project within this initiative. The request for qualifications period closed May 21st. So the city is expected to announce a partner in this initiative sometime this summer.
All right. Yeah. Very, very good. Okay. And this is a fun one. I actually was at the groundbreaking for the McKinney Roots community farm at the Gray Branch Parkland. So Talk to me about that.
Yes, exciting. McKinney Roots is going to have a new home.
Yes.
I was sad to miss the groundbreaking. Shout out our reporter Colby Farr, who was there. But the nonprofit community farm relocating to some city parkland. So they've got a 62-acre spot at Gray Branch Parkland, city-owned land, that they're going to take their whole farm initiative to. They're going to be putting in a tree orchard. They've got a community center that they've planned for. They've got a greenhouse. So lots of initiatives around there. They're going to be offering some educational opportunities up there, and that, because it's on city land, has some milestones related to their progress on construction. So that groundbreaking was in mid-May. They're looking for phase 1 to be done in mid-August, and that's going to be kind of the land prep, irrigation, planting part. And then phase 2, which is more of the building and the parking lots and the kind of the harder elements, is going to be slated for a April 2027 opening. So new home for McKinney Roots soon.
Yeah, and I think just a great community project between the city and the nonprofit McKinney Roots, which is under the Seed Foundation, and really kind of partnering with the parks. I mean, there's a great hike and bike trail out there, and so now you'll get to see that the farmland and this huge, orchard and
Yeah, it's
everything.
really
If
cool.
you go out to the park, it's awesome. Okay, business updates. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah,
We've
we
got
have
some good ones.
There's some very fun ones. So Trader Joe's #2 is now open.
Yeah.
It's an exciting one. Excited to be there on the grand opening day. And in that shopping center, it's called El Dorado Neighborhood Shops. There's a couple other businesses that opened around the same time as Trader Joe's. A Chipotle opened. Mountain Mike's Pizza opened. And then there's a couple others slated to open there. I know one is a Sherwin-Williams, another's Crunch Fitness, a car wash. So a lot of businesses coming online right there in El Dorado. Some other notable now opens: Burlington, over off of 380 in that old Joanne's spot. That opened in mid-May, as did Oak and Stone. It's that kind of burger, pizza, tap house restaurant in West Grove. They have a self-pour tap wall, so you can take your cup right up and try all kinds of different drinks.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. A couple of notable coming soon. So Cafe Brazil has announced they're coming back to McKinney. So they are filling a spot over off of 75, formerly Jungle Burger. That's a 24-hour coffee house. So very excited about that one. And then McKinney's getting a second Paris Baguette location. So that's going to be over off of Custer. And then an interesting one, so the Nature School of Fairview has announced an expansion, and they're going to have a Nature School of McKinney. It's up in the northern part of the city, and that is slated to welcome its first students in August.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, lots happening in McKinney. Thank you, Shelby, for always being in the know and explaining some of the more complex headlines to us. And as always, more information, all the stories, the links are located below. So we'll see you next time.